And now, martial art fruit users, complete and unabridged thoughts about the Power Rangers movie. Oh my god. This movie was awesome! It was great! It was terrific! It has a great character development. It has some awesome battle scenes. And while I do have a few complaints here and there that could possibly weaken the film for me later on, I'm not going to think about them right now. But they are on my mind, and I do know that it's not the greatest movie, but good golly, it wasn't great. It was fun. It was just a good movie. Now, I won't lie. If you're not a Ranger fan, you're probably not going to immediately fall in love with the series and start seeing the series as most fans do. You're probably going to either A, think they're trying too hard, or B, just find it an average flick. And that's okay. I just realized I'm giving my thoughts on a Power Rangers movie. Maybe I should spend about a few minutes doing a few random skits, calling Rita the worst villain, even though she isn't. That right rightfully belongs to Master I Ran Home Crying to My Mommy Vile. And talk like I know anything about Power Rangers when I really don't. Yeah, that sounds boring. Anyway, this film does exactly what I say Power Rangers should do. What you should do as a writer when it comes to anything. Don't use it's just a blank as an excuse for bad writing. Do not say, well, it's a kids movie, or oh, it's a Power Rangers movie. I don't have to put any effort at all into it. No, you do not do that. That is poor writing. It's not an excuse, and it does not act as a shield. You should always put in time, effort, and the desire to make a quality product no matter what you're working on. Lord Val's learned it, and for the past 7 years, we got a pretty awesome fan about the job. Always give it your all, and you can get a product that people will like. Yeah, there are other people who like it too, and they deserve a good product as well. Furthermore, this movie also does one really great thing for me. Something that I've always said that Power Rangers is best when it does this. This is why I love Guardians of Gaia. It focuses on the characters. It develops the characters. It helps us makes us care. The movie takes the time to give us a reason to get invested into the morph scenes. Heck, a lot of Sentai do the same thing. They wait till near the end of the episode before we get to see the Rangers in suit. But what do they spend the rest of the time doing? They build up the characters. We get to bond with them. We get to connect with them. This is why I hate Do Rangers so much. I don't know a dang thing about Geki, Burai, Guy. No, not Guy. Dan, Boy, Black Ranger, and May. Why? Because we spent a lot of time with the kids, and it sucked up all the time we could have spent with the Rangers. This is why I hate O Ranger. This is also partly why I hate Go-Go 5. Is because, for one, it's a boring Sentai, and two, the siblings didn't really have that much in the way of development. This movie gave us time to work around and understand each character. It also delved into the themes of teamwork, friendship, and heroism. One of the best scenes for me in that whole dang flick wasn't seeing the Megazord rise out of the pit, though that ranks high. It was the campfire scene. Oh, I love the campfire scene. It was a thing of beauty. I also found myself loving Billy way too much. He was awesome. And Jason has always been one of my favorite Reds, and this movie just reminded me why I do love writing for him. So yes, great movie. But you guys probably aren't here to listen to me do 30 minutes of a review. I don't have the equipment yet. No, you're here to listen to an awesome Power Rangers fic. So, without further ado, here's Mike's Power Rangers Starfleet. Boo! I kid. Power Rangers Defenders of Gaia. Chapter 14, Indigo Nightmare, Part 2. Enjoy! Nikki and the other Rangers watched on for the Gaia Megazord's cockpit as the cloaked Ranger with the massive black and indigo blade resting on his shoulder walked down the hill towards Mantis. He already severed one of the sphinxes in Mantis' hybrid size with his left wrist. Judging from his body language, the appearing Guardian of Darkness looked ready to finish the job. Come on, we should get down there, in case Locke tries stopping him with lots of something, Patrick yelled, breaking everyone out of their stunned state. Right, let's go! Nikki replied, the team pulling their weapons from the cockpit controls and teleporting down to the ground, their swords taking their leave back to their hiding places. Once down to the stranger's level, they could see amber eyes peering out from under his hood. His gaze fixed on the Mantis as Walker's minion got to his feet. Look at his eyes, Dirk whispered. There's something not right about them. So we are going with possessed stranger. Haven't had one of those in a while. Mantis roared as the stranger neared, running at him with one good sight as a glow of energy. He swung it hard for the dark figure, and simply held his sword out to stop the attack. A salty shockwave shot not to the ground. Instead, it only blew his head down, revealing a young man about the same age as Nikki and Layla, with short brown hair that had a single indigo streak down the left side. Run! It's him! Malin yelled, taking out the photo given to them by Professor Snyder by earlier of a boy's similar features, only with blue eyes and no streak in his hair. It's Dryden! He really is the last guardian of Gaia! The team looked on as Dryden calmly flicked an emblem on the hilt of his blade, simply a dragon's eye. Off to the side, revealing a compartment for not one, but 3 crystals. He inserted an indigo crystal and flipped the compartment shut, causing his blade to glow with indigo light as the dragon's roar could be heard. He didn't even slash his sword, just as it sounded hard against Mantis' scythe, knocking to the monsters to the ground. If I were you, I'd leave before I make them both match, Drayden muttered, just as the place where the other Mantis' scythe once protruded from his left wrist. Spantis crush you next time, Spantis growled, backing off as a portal formed behind him, disappearing from the area. Drayden scarfed. Coward. Drayden? The Guardian of Darkness turned to Red Ranger as the team approached him, albeit cautiously. You are Drayden, right? Your father, Professor Snyder, he asked us to find you. Drayden tilted his head curiously. My father. Nikki nodded, reaching out to pull her helmet off, looking at Drayden eye to eye. Name's Nikki. We're Power Rangers, and we're the new Guardians of Gaia. I know, Drayden replied. I can sense your energy for some time now, especially within the past few days. You've become quite strong, and gathered a number of Gaian crystals. Yeah, Dark asked, a little on edge. So, I've managed to collect a few myself, Drayden responded, pulling out a white crystal and a black crystal from his pocket. At the sight of them, the team could hear the howl of a wolf and the roar of a lion. Yeah, how did I know a Lion Zord was coming soon? We haven't had one of those, too. 3 new Gaia Zords? Leia asked. Wow, that brings the total to 11. Yes. Which begs a simple question, Drayden noted, pocketing the crystals. Nikki blinked, confused. What's that? Drayden smirked before slowly muttering. Which one of us do you think can handle all of the crystals? Before Nikki could ask further, Drayden swung his blade hard, knocking the team back and carving a deep line in the ground before them. Nikki winced as seeing the others got back to their feet, grabbing her helmet. But as they looked to where Drayden had been standing, he was long gone. Black smoke rising from the line he had sliced across the ground. Okay, what just happened? Alan inquired, completely baffled. Well, if I have to guess, I say that it was the greatest race of all. But why? Okay, Drayden, take my advice. Take out the Shadowmancer and take out Walker before you join up the team. Because once you join up as a team, your invincibility goes out the window. Well, I suppose this looks reasonable, Walker said, observing Spantis' left wrist as the latter took a seat in a dark chamber. Walker? Darkia asked, still watching the scene in front of the fireplace. He's gone. He attacked the Rangers and just disappeared. Disappeared where? Walker inquired. Suddenly, as if in answer, the dark chamber walls shook hard, dust and dirt falling from the roof. Next, the whole chamber shook, knocking Darky off her feet. Finally, the door was slammed clean off its hinges and hurled against the far wall, breaking in a few dozen places. The shaking stopped and straightened entered through the doorway, observing the chamber. Walker scowling at the intruder. You dare enter my domain? Walker demanded, readying his staff. Drain scoffed. Oh, sorry about the door, but someone went and locked it. Anyway, it's not your domain anymore. I'm going to be running the show from now on. If you think you can come here and... Walker started to say until Drain's sword was suddenly mere millimeters from the Salamandre's neck. This isn't a negotiation, Drain said calmly, despite the mercy in his eye. I'm taking over this operation. If you fall in line, you'll reap the benefits of my destroying the Power Rangers. But any one of you so much as budges a little bit my way, I take you all down. Is that clear? Walker's eyes narrowed in anger, but nonetheless muttered, Sounds like sensible. Good, Drain replied with a grin. Now tell me about this ebony venom you're brewing. Faulted, Jawar announced, breaking the silence in the main chamber of the library. The Rangers, who had been sitting around Moore trying to guess what had happened, and Professor Snayer, seemed mostly depressed by the matter, practically charging the table Jawar was sitting at. Well? Nikki asked. Jawar placed the book down as he was reading on the table, showing the illustration of a man with amber eyes. His name is Dragoon. He was a powerful settlement of the bounty original gods of Gaia, and he is someone that Darius has spent a lot of time and effort into erasing the existence of. Why? Layla inquired. Weren't they working together? Dragoon was a settlement operating under Darius. Dara explained, but according to this, he was notorious for being difficult to control, but with having his own agendas for how he dealt with the guardians of Gaia, and far greater power than any Shadowmancer in Darius' army. His last recording outing was the battle with the Guardians of Darkness, a battle that was unauthorized by Darius, after which he was supposedly destroyed. Shortly thereafter, the Guardian of Darkness was destroyed as well. And you think he is possessing the Raiden? Charles Nair asked. I'm afraid so, Jawar replied. It seems he's placed a cursor source on the integral crystal, and it's about his personality with the Raidens, which presents a problem. As the record suggests, the Dragoon possessed control over the shadows, far greater than Walker or Darky are put together. Oh good, because we were having such an easy time with those two, Dirk said sarcastically. Leo's face peeled a little. Oh man, you don't think that's why the original Guardian of Darkness... Jawar looked away sadly. There's nothing definite, but if I had to guess, either the other Guardians were forced to destroy him, or he realized what was happening to him on... Nikki's eyes twisted this information. No. We're finding a way to save him. We gotta free him from Dragoon's control. The Unicorn Sword, Patrick said. It has the power to penetrate darkness. We could use Lana's mirror the Unicorn Sword. That would mean still finding him though, Val countered. I got that, but it might be the only way to save him. I mean, I know it was me. I want your guys to do it. Patrick, if it was you, I'd be more worried for us, Dirk snarked. Patrick grinned, ready to retort, when the alarm suddenly went off, diverting everyone's attention to the viewing globe. Upon inspecting it, they were shocked as the globe zoomed in to show Drayden, along with a pack of about 40 Venobots or more, marching straight through the ever-bright forest towards the ancient library. He's coming right for us! Nikki exclaimed, looking to Jawar. Does he know that you have full access to your powers in the forest? And what's he hanging out with the Blots for? Dirk demanded. I thought they were on the same side after he attacked Spantis. Well, he's supposed to be even stronger than Walker or Darkia, so maybe he stole them or something? Madeline guessed. The old wizard stroked his beard, looking utterly confused. Something about this isn't right. We can't risk not engaging a force that size without our full rights intact. Nicky nodded, preparing to lead the others out. Only to feel Professor Snyder's hand on her shoulder. Please, save my son. He's the most important part of my life. Nicky gave a small but warm smile to the professor. I promise, we'll do everything we can. Charles nodded, so the others all headed out of the main chamber towards the front door of the library. The middle-aged man pulled up a chair and watched the viewing globe as his son came closer to the center of the forest. Couldn't shake feeling helpless, only able to sit and watch and pray that the Power Rangers could somehow save Drayden. Oh, Drayden, Charles asked sadly, why did you have your old man's sense of curiosity? Drayden smirked as he laid eyes on the ancient library, exiting from the shelter of trees with his army of phantom blots. It seemed to possess even more luster than he anticipated, something he planned to deal with in due time. Upon arriving, the front door opened, and the guardians and the wizards came stepping out to confront him. Come to meet me at the door, Drayden asked, his face putting up a friendly smile. That's pretty nice of you. But where's my dad? Doesn't he want to say hi? Cut the act! Nicky yelled. We know who and what you are, Dragoon. Let Drayden go and get out of here when you still can. Drayden saw Dragoon's hand lowered, and first looking hurt, then started to laugh. My. It looks like there were records of me left over after all. And here I thought Lord Draydar has actually managed to erase me from the record books. Guess I should have known he couldn't do this job without me. Enough! Jarwar shouted. Go back to the shadows, Dragon, and leave the boy with his father. Another classic Lord of the Rings line down? Dragon smirked, holding up the indigo crystal. Sorry, can't see. The affection I left on the Dragoon crystal has now spread to Drayden here, and as such our minds are one. Even if I had any desire to remove myself from him, which I don't, it would be impossible for me to do. Then we'll just have to do it ourselves, Nicky retorted, grabbing her crystal blast morpher. It's morphin' time! At this command, the other 4 members of the team at her side pulled her crystals free of their chains, placed the crystals inside the crystal blast morphers. Jarwar, on the far side of the group away from her, twisted the unicorn horn at the end of his staff back, pulled the light crystal from his pocket, and inserted his compartment. Raising their weapons up to the sky, Durga cried out, Guardians of Gaia! Awaken! Nicky and the other blaster-toting teammates pulled their triggers. 5 rainbow-colored blasts shooting out and spiraling around the air as yellow rays shot out from Jarwar's staff. Gorgeous array of lights encoded the team with verity, morphing them into the Gaia Rangers. Guardian of Fire! Nicky exclaimed as red emperor lights burned around her. Red Gaia Ranger! Calling of the Wind! Patrick shouted as green and white whipped around like a gust of wind. Green Gaia Ranger! Guardian of Water! Layla cried as blue lights flashed over her like wire. Blue Gaia Ranger! Guardian of Earth! Dirk roared as Or's light came off of dirt, sand, and the wind. Earth's Gaia Ranger! Guardian of Lightning! Now it crawled as violet light crackled around her like electricity. Violet Gaia Ranger! Guardian of the Light, Jarwar yelled, slamming his staff down as golden light shined around him like sun's rays. Lizard Ranger! The 6 Rangers struck a pose together as large silver flasks came up all around him, followed by a large rainbow-colored explosion behind him. Power Rangers! Guardians of Gaia! I just want to say as a side note, guys, when the Power Rangers morphed in the movie, in my head, I was actually doing the roll call for all 5 of them. I know it was cheesy, but the movie did it too. You should have seen the big grin I had on my face when Rhea said, make my monster grow. Dargoon yawned, arching his back and stretching his limbs out. I'm sorry. You and Tess took so long showing off, I got a little bored. Then I got sleepy. Then about, if you will. Hey, don't lock the roll call! The Venobots all growled menacingly, charging the Rangers as they immediately went to work. Dicky ran the closest one to her, throwing a big boot up to its gut. Naturally, defendant block caught her foot, giving her a chance to throw her foot to catch it aside ahead. Using momentum to do a little spin, and shoot the other block with her blaster. Finally, she leapt up, sprung out the shoulders of one more venom block to try and ram her, and fired a charged-up shot, blowing all three of her opponents away. Bronsuka! Lily called, breaking out into a massive weapon. Opening a pouch, she placed her own diving crystal inside, along with the focus crystal before shutting it closed. Targeting the scope sliding out, she aimed the Bronsuka ahead of the group about 6 venom blocks before charging at her. Bronsuka, fire! The Blue Ranger shouted, pulling the trigger. The large blast launched an effigy of the Leviathan sword at the venom blots, first colliding with the initial 3 before curling around and striking through each one in the back, eliminating them all. Storm and Lance! Patrick yelled, picking out his trademark glance as he leapt into the battle alongside Jarwar, leaping right up into the group of 10 venom blots. The 2 Rangers fought back to back, swiping their weapons across anything that came near them. After a few moments of this, Jarwar leapt up, leaving the Green Ranger to swing his lance down hard, creating a twister that sent the venom blots floating in midair helplessly. The Red Ranger grinned under his helmet, spinning and firing a beam of golden light from his staff, that vaporized the venom blots, before landing on his feet and getting a thumbs up from Pat. Powering let out a loud cry as he dive-kicked the venom blot down with everything he had, only for 5 more behind him to raise their claws up, ready to fire. Thinking quick, the Violet Rangers switched their Thunderbird crystal in their blaster with the Aquamarine Turtle crystal and pulled the trigger, creating a shell-like shield that reflected the claw shots back at the blots. As they were stunned, Dirk, a cut scientist, inserted his root crystal into his Gaia saber and slid it to the ground, summoning vines that tangled the blots up. Orange Ranger then fired a charged-up shot from his blaster, destroying them. With only a little over a dozen venom blots left, the team immediately regrouped. The core 5 Rangers loaded their crystal blast morphers with their primary crystals and charged up a blast, all the while Jarwar gathered energy to his staff. All 6 aimed their weapons forward, just as the venom blots began to slash at them. Sextuple Mental Blast! The Rangers called, unleashing their charged up shots on the venom blots. The blast overloaded most of the monsters, causing them to collapse to the ground in a tiny explosion, while the remaining 4 fell back onto Dragoon. I'll be honest, you're a bit stronger than I was expecting, Dragoon admitted. We've got way more than that where that came from, Dirk boasted. We'll see, Dragoon replied, raising his fist skyward as a glow indigo. Grow! Suddenly, the venom blots behind him began to take to black, an eggplant mist floating into the sky, left over from their fallen allies, into their bodies. The 4 monsters growled, growing to the sides and knocking over several trees behind him, as the Rangers backed off. You better call the swords, Malin yelled, drawing her Gaia saber. No, you all need to keep focused on Dragoon, Jarwar interjected. I can handle the venom blots. Alright, Jarwar, be careful, Nikki advised. The Wizard Ranger nodded, raising his staff up. Magna Blaster, pop! The Magna Buster lifted itself out of the Ancient's library roof. Jarwar teleporting inside the control station, removing the light crystal from his staff, and placing it in the charging chamber, causing the controls to come to life as the panel opened for his staff. Inserting his staff into the control panel, Wizard Ranger owned the Magna Blaster and the venom bots and opened fire, blowing them back a bit. Meanwhile, back on the ground, the team had drawn their Gaia sabers, dueling against Dragoon as the Shadow Master managed to parry and dodge each and every one of their strikes with his massive blade. He quickly dug out the Dragon Crystal, inserting to his sword, and began to glow brightly with indigo light. Dragon Buster! Dragoon nodded and roared, grabbing a hold of the blade with both hands. Celebrate! Swinging the Dragon Buster hard, Dragoon set up a shining slash of indigo light that blew the Rangers onto their backsides. Gaia sabers knocked from their hands. Nikki groaned, wishing in pain as the team got back to their feet. Dragoon tapping the blunt side of his Dragon Buster on his shoulder, like he was timing them or something. Oh, now that is wrong. That is just, that is just wrong! I should mention, dude, you're quickly becoming one of my favorite evil rangers. Right alongside Outbreak Killer. You know, one thing I hate about Outbreak Killer is that he turned good. Okay, I think it's time we took it to the next level, Nikki shouted. Right! The team yelled as they crossed their arms in front of themselves. Power up mode! Rangers threw their arms down as it became a golden light, resembling their elements. Darker rushed them, swinging his Dragon Buster at the team, only for Dark and Patrick to lock it between their palms. This gave Layla and Madeline a chance to leap up and dive kick the Shadow Monster in the head, forcing him backward. Finally, the four formed a circle across their arms together, Nikki flipping up and sprinking their arms out like a trampoline. Oh, that move is a classic! Dragoon, in stunned state, couldn't get his blade up in time to block as Nikki came down, crying, chopping him in the shoulder with a hand filled in flames, sending crashing to the ground. Unicorn sword! Nikki shouted, summoning the miniature unicorn sword with the unicorn crystal. Before it opened the unicorn's jaws and blinking the crystal in, causing the blade to shimmer with a silver light. Unicorn, remove the curse from Dragon Crystal and release Dragon from the Dragon's possession! Dragon roared, getting back to his feet and looking to block with the Dragon Buster. Nikki yelled as he thrust the blade forward. It was glowing like a silver beam of light, pierced the Dragon Eye emblem on the hilt of the Dragon Buster, where the Dragon Crystal hid underneath. Dragon cried out as silver chunks of energy rippled through the blade in himself. Dragon roared, his face full of agony, before looking to Nikki's visor, smirking ever so slightly. Oh, wait, no, not so much. With a single swing, Dragon knocked Nikki to the ground, Buster was stunned with, What? Really? You think the old Guardians didn't try using the Unicorn's sword's light when I possessed their friend? Dragon mocked as the Rangers looked on in disbelief. No, they tried every last trick they had, but to no avail. In fact, the ground where the Dragon Buster was left for 1,000 years is littered with empty, lifeless crystals for their attempts. And the best they could do was force the Guardian of Darkness to the surface, just long enough for him to destroy himself, never aware that my curse would live on through the Dragon Crystal. Nikki gripped the unicorn sword higher out of anger. The group getting distracted momentarily as Star Wars released another massive blast from the Magnum Buster and defended blots. Dragon sighed, watching his foot soldiers turn backwards again. For what it's worth, you're not really the only pathetic ones fighting these wars these days. Dragon went on. Let's look at those blots. Enhanced through science by the top Shadow Master General of Dradarius' army today. And that's the best they could do? It's so sad. But then again, that enmity venom of his could be used for other purposes. Raising a hand to the sky, his glance fixed on the venom blots. Dragon curled his fingers menacingly as the giants began to convulse in pain, their bodies falling apart into gulfs of mist. Ranger saw this, preparing to charge him, but the Sound Master merely swung his Dragon Buster once, knocking them away and out of powered-up mode. As they hit the ground, the venom blots finished dissolving, their mist being pulled into Dragon's body. He groaned as he felt a new power enter him, quickly manifesting as a suit of dark armor, much like Darkia's, only with indigo and eggplant accents instead of dark red, and he was wearing a dragon-styled helm that covered his head and face. Bling, 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 bling! Yes? Hi, this is Tommy Oliver. I would like to calmly ask you to stop stealing my helmet's design! Walker growled, watched as the offensive fold for the fireplace. I knew it. He was just using my venom blots for his own game! Well, it was our letting him have them or losing our heads, Darkia nodded. Besides, if he destroys the Rangers, what do we care how he uses them? Walker looked back to her sister as she tended to dismantle his wound from earlier. No, Darkia, you really have no idea the kind of Shadowmancer we're dealing with. There. That's more like it. Dragon said, observing his armor. It's just like the armor I wore a few 1,000 years ago, only a bit sturdier. Great. Now it's only stronger. Darkia observed as the Rangers got back to her feet. We can't use the powered up mode again, because we already are. Lego groaned, rubbing her neck. Dragon scoffed. Oh, you're still here? Oh well. I guess I'll give you a nice gift for making it this far. Dragon opened a panel on his Dragon Buster, inserting the white and black crystals into the hilt alongside the Dragon Crystal. Then he closed it shut, the Dragon Eye elbow spinning as the blade flashes between indigo, white, and black over and over. The Shadow Master then swung it back, the Rangers preparing for his attack. Instead, he sliced the blade a bit higher, sending a massive slash up at the Magnum Buster. The team could only watch it higher as the Magnum Buster was blasted hard, Jawar being shot by the energy buildup and falling to the floor of the control station, demorphed and unconscious. Jawar! The Ranger screamed in terror. Worry more for yourselves, Power Rangers. Dragon threatened, raising his blade skyward. Dragon Sword, Wolf Sword, Lion Sword, arise! Dragon Buster suddenly released 3 beams of light was entering a dark fog that seemed to be rolling in out of nowhere. A trio of loud roars pierced through the darkness, and fog soon dissipated, revealing an indigo medieval dragon, a white wolf, and a black lion, all staring menacingly at the Rangers. The 5 guardians of Gaia quickly scooted up their fallen Gaia sabers, inserting their crystals. Alright, you want a sword brawl? Nikki yelled. You got one! Gaia sword power! Now! Guys, I don't think you realize what you're messing with here. You are messing with the 6th Ranger Sword, and right now he is in evil mode, which means he is dang near invincible! The Rangers stretched their Gaia sabers skyward, which shot out multicolored beams which brought the Phoenix, Hippogriff, Leviathan, Behemoth, and Thunderbird Gaia swords to the team's location. The team then leapt into the air, teleporting to the cockpits and inserting their weapons in their holsters and the control panels. Log on! Nikki commanded. Green Ranger, ordered and ready. Patrick responded. Blue Ranger, go for butt kicking, Lady responded. Orange Ranger, ready to knock this guy down, Dirk shouted. Dragon said check himself, because now he's gonna wreck himself, Mela exclaimed. Dragon chuckled slowly, leaping up and teleporting inside the Dragon Sword's cockpit. Ring, 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 ring! This is Tommy Oliver again. Please give me back my Dragon Sword. Click! It had to see of any kind, simply having footholds to stand in. Stepping into them, a panel opened up for the Dragon Buster. Once he placed into it, gathering full control of it and the other 2 Zords. The Dragon Sword flapped its wings, taking off into the air and breathing columns of dark flames at the Phoenix, Hippogriff, and Thunderbird Zords, nearly knocking them out of the sky. Wolf and Lion Swords, meanwhile, pounced upon the Leviathan and Behemoth Swords, claws and fangs, causing them to fall back a bit. We've got to take him down! Patrick yelled, inserting Unicorn's crystal into his blaster and pulling the trigger. Unicorn's crystal, power it up! Hippogriff's sword lasted a ray of light to create an embassy of a silver moon in the sky. Soon enough, the Unicorn sword climbed down from behind it, standing atop the moon and firing rays of light down at the Wolf and Lion swords, knocking him back. However, upon looking at the Dragon sword and seeing its darkened form, it took a hesitant step back. What's the deal? Mela demanded. Why didn't fight the Dragon sword? Nikki's eyes widened as he realized he's hair. Guys, remember the cave Professor Snyder told us about? With the statue of the dragon and the wall crying of the unicorn? Snyder said the 2 didn't look like they wanted to fight. Of course! Dirk shouted. The unicorn and dragon sword must have been friends. Now the unicorn sword will attack it. Of course Twilight wouldn't attack Spike! She's her little guy. Her son / little brother / take what the relationship as you will. Of course Twilight would never hurt her little guy. She would take care of him. So we've done a Ruby reference. We've done a Pony reference. All you need now is to do a red versus blue reference, and Trixie thinks you have officially proven how little life you have. The Dragon sword breathed dark flames into the Leviathan sword. It's trying to get rolling backwards as Leia cried out, whatever the reason, it's not exactly doing us any favors. Dragon sneered. Well, let's see how you handle my next trick. Dragon, Wolf, Lion, combine! To the Ranger's collective shock, the Dragon sword twisted its long body around, resembling legs and torso of a giant robot, with a dragon head forming the chest. The Wolf and Lion swords tucked their legs in, combining it with the Dragon sword as arms. Finally, a robotic head slid out, resembling a dragon's helmet, as the robot landed on his feet before the other Gaia Zords. Dragon Megazord, power up! Drago called as the Dark Megazord came to life. The Wolf and Lion heads opened their jaws wildly, releasing a pair of black Aerosors that blew upon the moon embassy, knocking the Unicorn Zord down hard, and laid on its side. Sparks flying from his body as it was heavily damaged. Okay, kid gloves are off! Dirk roared, pulling at the Unity crystal. Gaia Zords combine! The team switched out the crystals for the Unity crystals, causing their Zords to spring up and shift their bodies around, combining into their own Megazord as cockpits came together in the head. Gaia Megazord, power up! You know, that's the thing I missed from the Zords running out of the command center was Kimberly saying that her Zord had a nice stereo. Would have been a really nice callback. But then again, seeing the Zords charge out for the command center to the tune of Go Go Power Rangers for the 1995 movie was probably one of the coolest Zord moments ever. The two Megazords approached each other, exchanging punches as sparks flew off them. Eventually, the Dragonzord's wings, which were folded down around the Dragon Megazord's sides, unfolded, firing energy bursts from the leathery-looking wings that sent the Gaia Megazord settling backwards. The Ranger's giant robot recovered, the behemoth's jaws on its chest, and the Megazord openly fired orange beam of power at the opposing robot. However, the Dragon Sword's head on its chest and the Dragon Megazord mirrored the action, only firing a large ball of black flames. The two attacks collided hard, canceling each other out and knocking both Megazords off their feet. Dang it! We're running out of power! Patrick cursed. If we don't disable his Megazord, we're going to be in deep trouble. Hate to do this, but we don't have a choice. Nikki muttered, picking out the Phoenix Crystal. Guys, power up to seal the bow! Dirk and Layla nodded, getting the focus Coral Crystals. Nikki and Layla inserted the crystals in their blasters and pulled the triggers, calling out the KitchenAid and Turtle Zords in flashes of pink and aquamarine light. The KitchenAid flipped off the ground, forming a crossbow for the Gaia Megazord's right hand, while the Turtle Zord rolled into its cell and bounced up, forming a shield for the left hand. Gaia Megazord, shield and bow! The team called as the Gaia Megazord got back to his feet, as did the Dragoon Megazord. The latter fired another black fireball at the former. The Turtle shield managed to block the attack before its wielder returned fire with the shot, such the KitchenAid bow, forcing the Dark Megazord to back off a bit. Guys, I think if we hit the Dragonzord with enough force, we can force the Megazord apart, Layla explained. Okay, hit it, Dirk! Nikki ordered. Dirk powering up the focus crystal. The Gaia Megazord began glowing with bronze light as the turtle shield was loaded into the KitchenAid bow. The aquamarine sword flashing in 7 colors of the Zords, using the current Zord combination. At the God blast! The Gaia Ranger shouted, the KitchenAid firing the turtle shield with combined power of all 7 Gaia Zords. The turtle sword rented a heptagon-shaped shield of bronze light around itself, slanted the Dragon Megazord hard, bouncing away to safety as the Dark Megazord began to overload with energy, sparks flying from all over. Go! Nala cheered. Dragon chuckled evilly from the Dragon Megazord's cockpit. Eggplant-colored energy pouring from his hand into his blade and down to the control panel. Pretty impressive. In fact, it would have been more than enough to force my sword apart if I wasn't feeding it with the ebony venom I took from Walker's venom bloods. I'll give him this much credit. He may be an incompetent fool, but he gave me much such a wonderful gift. The Turtle Megazord quickly landed on the ground, peeling out towards the opponent at high speed. However, as it skipped up into the air, looking to slam into the Dark Megazord, Dragon fed a large amount of dark energy to the Dragon Megazord, releasing a massive plume of darkness out of the Dragon Megazord's jaws. He called the Turtle Zord, stopping him midair, knocking to the ground in an explosion. His shell almost completely blown off as his power died off. Turtle Zord! Malin screamed. The sword fading away in dim, aquamarine life. Okay, now I'm really mad! Dirk roared. The KitchenAid bow, switching to left hand, transforming into his longbow form. The Gaia Megazord created an arrow of white-hot flame, sending it on the bow. Gaia Megazord, KitchenAid bow! The Rangers called, Final now! The Megazord released the burning arrow, setting it sailing straight through the air as the Dragon Megazord. The arrow hit the Dark Megazord hard, causing it to stumble back a few steps, only for it to power up with even more dark energy from the Dragoon. Eternal Bleak, the Dragoon shouted. The 3 Zords making a Dragoon's Megazord, opening its jaws and firing up a massive indigo, white and black beams of energy out of the Gaia Megazord. The relentless assault of the beams knocked the KitchenAid boat out of the Megazord's hands, crashing into the trees below, while the Megazord itself crashed across the forest. The Rangers tumbling out of the cockpit and falling to the ground, as the giant robot blew apart into its individual Zords, all looking heavily damaged. Nikki winced and gasped in pain as she dragged herself up to her hands and feet. Her visor broken apart in the left corner. Reaching over, she grabbed a hold of her discarded Gaia Saber, with It's apparently fallen out with her, and he used it to force herself back to her feet. As she did so, her eyes widened hard at the sight of the Gaia swords, all heavily damaged and drained of power. In a word, dead. Oh, by the way, I do love it when the suits get broken to pieces. No! Nikki gasped. All the others tried to pull themselves back up. Feel bad for them, because they got it easy. Dragon yelled. I'm sick of this stupid, infantile war on the light side of rocking the planet. I'm gonna get an end to it once and for all. By destroying this planet and leaving only a dark abyss in the wake. Leaving the darkness as the one true winner of the war. Is he serious? Patrick demanded. In 24 hours, I expect you, the Gaia Guardians of Gaia, to bring me all the Gaia crystals in your possession, so I can proceed with the quick, decisive destruction of Gaia. Dragon called. If you don't, I'll destroy every single one of the cities on Gaia, and everyone in them. And trust me, I will make it agonizingly slow. With this thought, it left for the Rangers. Dragon Megastar teleported away, taking Dargon with it. Likewise, the Gaia swords soon faded away into nothingness, leaving the Rangers to wallow in their own terror and depression. Darky gulped hard, having heard Darky as a present. Okay, I think I gained what you meant before. Gee, you think? Walker snarked as he finished using the dark smog of his staff to regenerate his mantis' missing scythe. Okay, what in the wide world of Gaia are we going to do to stop that? Darky demanded. Walking aside, turning away. Something I tried to tell myself I wouldn't have to do. Professor Snyder groaned as he carried Jawar to the main chamber, laying down into the mattress he pulled out. As he did, the others ran in, all demorphed and looking anywhere for concern and terrified as they gathered around. Is he? Dirk asked, tears filling his eyes. No, he's still alive, Snyder's replied, but I think he might be comatose. Hold on, please. Patrick Meyer falling to his knees. I can't believe this is happening. What else could possibly go wrong today? Oh, I can think of a few things. The group immediately spun around, facing the source of the voice. Combined shock. Entering the main chamber of the Eastern Library was Walker, flanked by Darkia and the angry-looking Spantis. Nikki stood balled up against the three, unsure if she was ready for a fight or not, but prepared to fight the Shadow Masters to their death to protect Jawar. You can relax, Red Ranger. I'm not here to fight you. Amazing as it would be to kick you while you're down. What do you want? Nikki inquired. Walker sighed, looking extremely pained and conflicted, before staring into Nikki's eyes and uttering the words, I'm here to help. Oh, another great and classic chapter. This is one of the high points of a good, evil Six Ranger story, when all hope seems lost, and the big bad shows off that he is more powerful than the Rangers combined, and he's capable of kicking all their butts. This heightens the tension for us as we are trying to figure out how the Rangers are going to win. I mean, we know they are going to win, but the question becomes how. And speaking of Six Rangers, I found out that the cast and crew want a female Six Ranger for the next movie. And personally, I kind of want it too. That way we could have 3 girls and 3 boys. And no one would expect it. It would be a complete and utter shock. Granted, this would ruin my Kim and Tom relationship, but I'm okay with losing one ship in favor of maybe getting another interesting one. But still, it would be awesome. Anyway, back to the fic. I love his personality. I know it was snarky a little bit about the design choices, but seriously, this guy is actually pretty dang awesome to watch. And I love his personality, and I love how he's handling things. And I can't wait to get to the next chapter. See you then.